Hello and welcome to Wired In. I'm Diana Galata with Hampton City Schools. I'm very pleased today to be joined by Chef Wade O'Neill. Welcome.
Good to be here. Thank you for having us.
Now, Chef, you are one of the teachers in the Culinary Arts program at Phoebus High School.
Yes, ma'am, that's correct.
But before we learn a little bit more about the Culinary Arts program, I've heard that you have a very interesting background, so let's hear a little bit about it.
Well, both Chef Walker and I, we do have a real interesting background. We're the first professional chefs and teachers hired into the program, so we bring a lot of years of experience. Mine is in the fine dining arena environment. The first chef that I worked for, his name is Chef Patrick O'Connell. He currently owns and runs the #1 ranked restaurant in the world. Phenomenal property, 5-star, 5-diamond. It's the only hotel and restaurant on this side of the world, North and South America, that has the 5-star, 5-diamond rating for both the hotel and the restaurant. It's an amazing property to work at. So that had a pretty profound influence on my development and upbringing.
So why would you want to leave something that exciting and come teach?
Well, it's been an interesting series of events. I would still be at the inn at Little Washington, but they could not find a way to relocate my wife to Northern Virginia in a job where she teaches early childhood special ed. Their HR department worked very hard to do that. I had a great time up there. They love me. But the turnover of teachers there is very low in rural America. I was kind of surprised. I thought it would have been higher. So then I got back to Hampton Roads area. I'd worked with a couple of chefs, Sidney Mears, who's a phenomenal chef here in Hampton. I worked with the late Bobby Huber, who recently passed away, who is a phenomenal chef. And then I got a phone call from a former teacher of mine that said, hey, you mentioned to me one day if you ever get a chance to teach, how would you like to do that? And that's when I began my teaching career. So I started out at the Culinary Institute of Virginia. I taught there for a little over 6 years, and then was talking to Bruce. Bruce was looking for another professional chef, Bruce Godwin, the assistant principal at Phoebus. And I said, I'd love to do it. So
are you finishing your first year here? Or
yes, ma'am.
Your first
year, yeah.
So how has it gone for you?
Well, I'll tell you what, it's exciting and it's challenging. High school teachers, my wife is an early childhood teacher, but high school teachers have their share of challenges, as you might imagine. There's also, it's very rewarding when you can help kind of shift those challenges into successes and rewards for students where they can see the possibilities. And between Chef Walker and myself, what we're doing, we've done some pretty amazing things this year for our first year out, which is pretty good, to help move things along in a very positive, very strong direction for the school and for Hampton City Schools.
So let's talk a little bit about the program. If I had a student who was interested in the program, what would that look like for a student?
Well, the first thing you need to remember is that, like any profession, it's usually an academic-rich environment first. You have to be able to possess the knowledge and then develop a level of understanding that you can translate into physical action. Culinary is a lot about math, science, we're basic algebra, we're some advanced science techniques, English, reading, writing, and communication. And a lot of those things we spend hours and hours discussing and sharing and engaging our students in and on, because that will help lead them to a successful career opportunities and college opportunities. The second half of that's the actual application of all this information and knowledge, which is a real amazing thing. Recently, like 2 weeks ago, I have my first year students, and I gave them their first chopped competition. So I divided the class up into 4 groups of students. I gave them each a different mystery basket. They had that day to plan it independently, and then the next class day they had to execute. So we did 2 gradings. Chef graded, of course, right? He was looking for the technical and the mastery and the understanding and knowledge, the application. And then the students graded each of the groups. And it was real interesting to see how far they've come. So that was a very rewarding opportunity for me. But the students, they had no idea how far they'd come. because they did some really amazing things with those mystery baskets. So there's a lot of challenges out there, but the more I understand the high schooler, the easier the challenges become for me.
So the way I understand it, you don't have to necessarily live in the Phoebus High School zone to go to the program. This is more of a division-wide program that you can apply to attend, even if you don't live in the Phoebus area.
Absolutely. It's a magnet school for the culinary program. As a matter of fact, in the school year 18-19, we're actually doing the Hospitality and Tourism Academy will begin. I begin writing the curriculum for that next school year, and hopefully that'll align the industry standards to what we're teaching in high school. Right now it's not. There are some disconnects in the curriculum, and it'll bring us more in line with career-ready and college-ready curriculum, which will set our graduates up for even more success. But yes, we do bring in a lot of the students from the other schools as part of the program.
So part of the real hands-on work that happens in the Culinary Arts program is through the Blue Phantom Inn. And I've visited several times. The food is delicious. So tell us a little bit about how that provides the students with some hands-on experience.
Well, we actually have a lot more than the Blue Phantom Inn. That's the part that the customer outside the school sees the most. For instance, I've actually taken my classroom and transformed it into a mini kitchen. So I begin my early hands-on in the kitchen where I can, in the classroom, on 2-on-1 ratios where I have 2 students come up and I'll do a demo, they'll actually replicate the demo, right? And then I can work through the entire class in a much more controlled environment. Then we transition into what I call the laboratory, which is our kitchen. And in the lab, we go ahead and we do it not as 2 individual students replicating a demo, but as a team fabricating a meal, producing a meal. So we give assignments out, everybody has an assignment they do, which all contributes to something that will go onto a plate, a plating concept, so that if, like we were talking about Thanksgiving before the show, there might be some turkey stuffing, vegetables and gravy on that plate. So the entire class has assignments where they're contributing these components. They've practiced, rehearsed them, and now we're doing it. So that when an opportunity presents itself, we have a Blue Phantom Inn experience. And so on May the 9th, we're feeding the band, the annual awards banquet, 165 family members, students, and some faculty. And my students, we've been actually going through this process of hands-on, practicing, prepping, and delivering to the event that's coming up on the 9th. So it's not just one area where we're actually cooking, because that won't give them enough experience to really hone their skills, develop that understanding, and be able to transfer that into taking a theoretical idea and having it become reality, like in the mystery basket, for example.
Well, the program is surely an award-winning program that has garnered a lot of attention across the nation. And what's great about that for our kids is the fact that they go to competitions and win several awards. And it's my understanding that here recently, several students won thousands of dollars in scholarships. So tell us a little bit about that.
That's part of the ProStart program. We have a relationship with the ProStart community. We do ProStart testing and certifications, which are all hospitality and tourism examinations and certifications that are recognized within the industry. This year, Chef Walker took a team of 6 students to the state competition. They nailed it, took first place. He couldn't be here today because he's actually preparing the team to go down to Charleston, South Carolina for the national competition this year. And we've got a pretty good shot at walking away with a first place finish this year. We've been down there in the past, and we haven't taken anything back yet, so I've kind of challenged Chef, as chefs challenge each other, to do us right and bring back the national award this year. It's very, very challenging. There's actually 2 different levels of competition, which is really good for our students, but you have to be able to make a quick turn on that, and Chef's done an exceptionally great job turning this team so that when they get up there, they're ready for that level of competition.
Well, the students prepared a meal for astronauts not too long ago, so I'm confident that they'll do really well.
And that's really fun, that experiment with NASA is another amazing thing. You know, when we talk about scaffolding and learning in school, we talk about starting with something that's concrete, and then we move to abstract, and we get into the theoretical. And a question that I ask students, the first group of students, is, what is a carrot? And the response is, it's a root vegetable. And then I say, well, to a chef, it's a color, it's a flavor, and that translates to an opportunity. And the only thing limiting me on those opportunities are my knowledge and understanding of methods and techniques. So when we do a project like the NASA project, like the desserts that we worked on this year, we have to figure out certain things to overcome certain challenges that NASA presents to us for safe food and space and packaging, so that it still maintains its integrity as far as deliciousness goes and safety goes. So there's some fun things there. When we have to get into the food science component again, we have to start testing ideas and testing these theories and making them work, which again takes our students to another level of learning. And so it's a pretty amazing program that we've got.
Well, before we close today, is there anything else that you would like to share about the program or the students in the program?
Well, if you're serious about culinary and are looking to do a career culinary track, we currently have a summer hire program. We've got the highest number of summer hires that currently have jobs. As soon as school lets out, they'll start working. We've got an apprenticeship where we've got students that are actually working to learn the industry in a couple of restaurants. We've got a lot of things that we're doing with students, special events, charity events for things like oh goodness, I just lost it, the Hampton Roads Food Bank,
right.
Peninsula Food Bank, and folks like that. So we've got a lot of things going on in the classroom, in the laboratory, and on the streets. You know, and if you look at our mission statement for Hampton City Schools, it's working with the community, excellence in education, every student, every day, whatever it takes. So we've worked really hard to bring our program right in line with that mission statement, because there's value in a good mission statement, and that's a good mission statement, and we're hitting that one pretty hard.
Well, it sounds like you all are doing a lot of great things in the program, and we appreciate you coming on today and sharing them with us.
Thank you. It was great to be here.
And thank you for watching Wired In. Have a great week.